Well, I sat through Section 31, so you don't have to. And, yeah, it's no good. It's pretty bad. And there's a lot of cheapness to it, but that's to be understood. They weren't making any money, so, you know. But for the most part, if it was a compelling story and really gripping, I wouldn't have cared how cheap the special effects look. I mean, you really got to drop the ball pretty seriously to kick me out of the story, because I've been very forgiving for bad CGI here and there and stuff like that. But that's not the problem. The problem is it's just really stupid, and on so many levels. They throw in an Easter egg with Rachel Garrett being there. Well, there's no way this is that Rachel Garrett. And I don't mean the blue hair. That was just a disguise. She has normal hair through the rest of the show. But the timeline here, how could she be of that age by then if this is back in that era? Because Georgiou went to the future with Burnham, but then the Guardian of Forever sent her back. I assume the same era that Michael Burnham and crew left. So this is supposed to be that era before Kirk takes over the Enterprise. And yet you've got this Rachel Garrett who's at youngest 30. You know? And she's eventually going to succeed Kirk on the Enterprise, but by quite a few years. And she didn't look all that old in the Next Generation show, you know, of, yesterday's Enterprise and all that. So can't be her unless this is Aunt Rachel, who was in the Federation and inspired this other Rachel, who, granted, could have known older Kirk. Well, maybe not. By then, he would have disappeared on the previous Enterprise. That wasn't her ship. Hers is a different model. But she's in an era where a young Captain Picard, I think, would have been around. So you're going a little further. So there's just no way this Rachel could be there. But, oh, I forgot. It's the multiverse. That's right. So this Star Trek multiverse, Lower Decks and familiar old worlds have clarified, you know. So you throw that in. Then there's the augment, basically the guy who recruits the team for Section 31 on this particular mission. Oh, well, he's from the 20th century, you know, from the eugenics wars, except, of course, you have to use time travel stuff to explain. It no longer happens in the 20th century. Yeah. So multiverse again, I guess, you know, you got to throw that in there to explain everything. But the thing of it is, why do the Easter egg of, say, Rachel Garrett when it's not her? It can't be her. It's some alternate version of her. So it you know, then it also would have to be used to explain the black and white guy from the old show, you know. Problem is, in that show, it was the first time they encountered those people, and there were only 2 of them left, and they went back to their home planet to kill each other. You know? So there's none of them left, so how is this guy there? Well, multiverse, where I guess their people survived after all. Yeah. So, stupid, but all that crap, they throw that around. They don't even understand it. And, of course, it doesn't matter because, yeah, it's multiverse. So it's the only way that works. This isn't the same Star Trek. So, anyway, you clear that up. Is the overall plot stuff okay? No. So you have Georgiou, and you get a flashback of her days how she became the emperor or empress, whatever. And this involved her wiping out her own family and maiming her boyfriend and making him her slave. Well, he didn't like that, so surprise, surprise, he's the villain behind it all, even though she thought he was dead. But she had this ultimate weapon that she developed, and oh boy, now it's in, you know, the normal universe, or, well, the alternate universe we're in. So there you go. That's oh no, spoiled that. Well, it's kind of obvious from the beginning, but anyway. So this Mission Impossible team is assembled at her Section 31 nightclub in space, which is what it should have been about. It's like Studio 54, but it's Section 31. Just call it that. And it's in space, and everybody goes there to gamble, do drugs, and get laid, you know, which is essentially what happens. And, of course, they got to play, you know, pop music and stuff like that while she prances around in it. But oh no, the mission's underfoot, so she gets recruited, blah, blah, blah. And the team's assembled, and off they go. You've got this Vulcan guy, but he's not Vulcan. He's actually just his body's being used by this nano-sized alien that basically drives his body like a car, Yeah. So they do that. Then there's the cyborg type guy, whatever. Doesn't matter. He gets killed off. There's Rachel, of course. Then there's a shapeshifter guy. And there you go. I think that's the augment, And then, of course, Giorgio. And there you go. They have that. And then they do some fights and fight. And the thing about Giorgio is, of course, Michelle Yeoh, she came out of martial arts movies and stuff like that in her youth. Well, now it's like watching grandma do these superhero fights. And, of course, it would be rather costly to do it all with a stunt double and to perhaps digitally place her face on that double, perhaps, and also to have the time and constraints to frame it to where you don't see that it's not actually Michelle Yeoh doing it, but oh boy, does it show that the arthritis and stuff. It really slows you down, so it's not all that spectacular. And now you could have rewritten it where she's the actual strategist and whatnot, and they couldn't think of that because they're not that good. And she does figure out one of them's a mole and is plotting against them, and kills one of them and that sort of stuff, and then they realize, oh no, one of us is not who they appear, and all that kind of thing. But she figures it out, see? So there you go. That's how you show how smart she is and whatnot. It's just not that good. Oddly enough, they went and got this ship that gets destroyed, so then they end up on this piece of crap, decrepit ship they got to use because they're a ragtag crew, and now they're on a ragtag ship and all that stuff. At the end, they revealed the whole nightclub is a spaceship that has warp drive. Giorgio could have just used it. But then again, I guess she didn't want to get it scratched or anything. But she's willing to use it on their next mission as they leave. Oh, yes, it ends on that, So the ultimate weapon is this ultimate weapon, and they're chasing it, because there's always something to chase. And, what does it do? Oh, it's horrible. It's really terrible. And the ex-boyfriend is going to use it as a weapon to invade the main universe, or whatever this is, the Kurtzman universe, with the Empire, so that he can be the rightful new emperor and all that sort of stuff. And there's this, some ion storm created a wormhole to go between the two universes. So at the end, Giorgio decides to detonate the weapon to close that door. And the other members of the team are able to beam her and the augment guy back after she's killed her boyfriend. And as he's dying, he says, you know what? You were right. I still love you, and dies. And she's, no. They keep showing the examples of what a heartless, soulless monster Giorgio is. And, I guess Burnham really changed her, and you're supposed to feel sorry for her, or have some sort of sympathies. No, I don't. No. So it's like, who cares? But anyway, it's silly, isn't it? And they survive, and so they go back to the nightclub. And then Jamie Lee Curtis shows up, and she's their, boss of bosses, basically, and sends them on a new mission. So it's supposed to be silly that you see her, Star Wars like hologram talking to them. And that's when the club warps out. So yeah, it's really bad and stupid and crappy. The dialogue is below CW soap opera level cringe shit. And but the best part about it is it's very short. You're a little over 90 minutes, and that's the best part about it. That's really good, and it does have plot points, and there's this thing, and they got to go to it, and they don't waste a lot of time worrying about other stuff. Had it been in its original version, this would have been season 1. I have no doubt about it, because a lot of these, Kurtzman era Trek shows, that's what they are. Each season is one episode stretched out over, 10, 12 episodes, whatever they get. And that's the deal. They don't know how to do episodic stuff because they only have one idea. They don't want to waste it on other episodes, because then they'll run out, So it's just this one thing. Whereas previously, and you can see the points through the movie, not that I'm suggesting you bother, but they go from one plot point and then you realize, oh, if this was an episode, it would stop here. Sometimes it'd be like a cliffhanger, and then next week you'll see the next episode, that kind of thing. And it cuts like that throughout this film, and but mercifully, it's all done at once in this one shot here, not over several episodes. So that's, again, the best part, but that's what it would have been. I have no doubt about it. And then by the end, you have this final episode where they're all sort of giggling about everything and, well, I guess we're stuck together. And that sets it up for the next adventure. But I really don't think there'll be one. So this is it. This is all Kurtzman gets. I would think, God, can you imagine 5 seasons of this? So the idea would be, oh boy, it's so popular, we want a sequel. So Section 31-2, and it would be whatever this other mission is, But why would anyone want to see it? I don't know. But anyway, there it is. It's done. And yeah, the best part is it's short. And that's, if it had to be, this was the only way to do it. A lot of times they say, hey, there's some okay performances. It's sad to watch this actor or actress get wasted and stuff. Didn't really see that. I can't say that they were bad, and it's unfair to them because, they're stuck in this crap, But I don't know, nothing really popped out or anything like that. So maybe in something else they'll turn out to be okay. I mean, they were competent and stuff. They didn't annoy me like some of the acting in Star Trek Discovery was just atrocious. So I can't say there was any of that. It's just they're forced to speak this god-awful dialogue. So that's about it. It was crap. But I've seen them do worse. That's true. But in the end, again, the best part about it was it was short and it's over. Like they say, when you got to take that Band-Aid off, just rip it off. It's better that way. You keep pulling at it and pulling. Oh, God, it's sheer agony. Well, Section 31 is the Band-Aid you rip off.